open-minded fans will be the last to die. By me. Last year was the year that poetry stopped working. The creative juices ceased to flow and left them all alone to dry up in their bitterness. Rage consumed us like a wildfire through a man-made forest, left alone to dry in the sun. The people had no way of expressing themselves. In anger, they came together. Small meetings exploded into street riots. Crowds grew larger until nothing calmed them. The fight soon lost the flame and they conformed to their nation's standards. They still remained angry. Fear and frustration spread through most of the population. No one in their way was safe. The year before that, a rock star impaled Congress with a steel guitar. He screamed out in anger, a sorrowful tune, while his brothers tattooed targets over their hearts, singing the final chorus line as they lined up along the Capitol building. The music died as they were shot by the masses in a societal epidemic of self-righteousness. That's when teenagers began to read and write again. Short stories and novels overcompensated for the lack of music by forming rhythm and rhyme, a surge to the heart of poetry. Some wondered if it was too much. The year before that, all of Hollywood lost their inspiration. The mountains of white had blown away with the swift blast of an iron cross. They were left dazed, sober, and considerably bored. Every actor joined the latest religion, a pulpit teaching extreme love and sacrifice. Each of them decided that the other was, or at least should be, a martyr. They threw a party in the most expensive and famous of houses, and every invitation was inscribed, BYOG, bring your own gun. The host put on classical music as they took off their clothes, prayed, and put their weapons to the head of the person next to them. The only one dead without a bullet in their brain was a child star, who had a clear plastic cup of purple punch. The Screenwriters Guild came to a conclusion. Their words would become nothing without bodies and voices to express them. They stopped leaving their houses while the sun was out. They became a masquerade of oversized white button-up shirts, white slacks, and plain white masks with their least favorite words written across them. They attached C4 to their chest and marched into Grauman's Chinese Theater to watch the last film ever written, a comedy by a sketch writer from a canceled variety show. The theater exploded 5 minutes into the feature. A month later, every director gathered together to vote for a champion, and the champion then directed them in a march to the beachside cliffs of LA. They threw themselves into the ocean like lemmings. The champion stayed among the living to direct one last film. Crowds of fans came to the opening night and proceeded to riot when the movie was revealed to be flashing colors put to music. The theater was destroyed within seconds. Afterwards, the crowd gathered outside to dance around the film as it burned in a ritualistic blaze. The director was later found impaled on the last working film projector. The government illegalized music. It was deemed too dangerous for the human soul. The year before that, every religion banded together. Everyone joined based on principle, and those who refused were taxed more than the others. The Pope married the first female LDS prophet. They made separate lists of all the things that God thought was bad and crossed out their disagreements. After 7 days and nights, they agreed that drugs were God's main concern. Action will be taken. Coincidentally, a certain mansion was throwing a party that weekend, a party involving pajamas, universal condoms, and of course, copious amounts of drugs. The church then called in a police raid, and the doors were bashed in with a very large crucifix of iron. The partygoers scattered like cockroaches after a light had been turned on. The police hunted down the models like rabbits. They were thrown into cages for life. The last child of the classy gentleman's bastard offspring was found in the bathroom. He was dead from choking on latex. Nudity was deemed too risky. Pornography was duct taped to drugs and thrown into the hell of illegal pleasures. The president soon announced a zero-tolerance policy on the subject and said that it was for the good of his country. He said that future generations would thank him. Thank you, Mr. President. Now I live alone. My only possession is a baseball bat with a nail through it and my favorite words carved along its surface. I built my shelter from fragments of rock stars' houses and partially burned books on top of a mountain of confiscated vinyl records and 35mm film. Now I hear them at my door, running their perfectly groomed nails against it. They preach as they shatter my windows with aged bricks. They forgive as I smash arms reaching through the cracks of wooden walls. I smell the fire below me at the foot of the mountain. The vinyl and film melt together and become toxic vapors, my last breath. I've been waiting for them this time. They're my goodbye party, the line of cheerleaders to the door of an electric chair. I no longer fear death. I crave it. Living sold out a long time ago.